Hi, I'm Caz, and this is Road to the Ring.
It's currently the 13th of May. We're leaving for Nurburgring on the 29th, even though we're not allowed to say Nurburgring. As far as Rob knows, he's going to Blackpool. He knows we're taking a ferry, so I've convinced him that we're going to go to Holyhead, take a ferry to Ireland, drive all the way up Ireland, and then another ferry from Belfast over to Blackpool. I'm pretty sure he's bought it so far, to be honest. So yeah, we're leaving then, so it's about 16 days to go until we leave. I had a letter through from my local circuit, which is Anglesey Circuit, the racing track on Anglesey, saying they're having an evening session for local club members, which I am one. So I thought it'd be rude not to go, on a track day in the car, which we're about to do like 1,000 miles in a foreign country and tow two motorbikes in. So I'm just getting ready to do that now. Just got all the tyres in the car. Right, amazing track tyres. See, almost brand new condition. Perfect. Right, this is the trailer as it stands. It's a bit rusty because I left it out in the rain, but I'm sure it'll do fine. I blinged it up with some nice mini alloys, so I'm sure that'll make a world of difference there. But what I also need to do is check the alignment on the back of the Subaru with my amazing homemade gauge. Both of the rear suspension mounts failed on this a little bit ago. I've got a set of coilovers on the car, BC Racing coilovers, which I bought from Apex Performance. Two of the rear mounts failed, which apparently was a known manufacturing issue. So fair play to Apex. As soon as I told them, they sent me out two brand new replacements, next day delivery, free of charge. Top blokes. Highly recommend them if you need anything for your Subaru or performance car. I don't know what else they sell, but Apex Performance, spot on. But because of that, I changed the driver's side strut last, so the camber's a bit iffy. I've always had issues with the camber on this side of the car. I think it must have been slid into a curb or something at some point in its life. It's never quite been right. So I've got my amazing gauge here, so I'm just going to see what it's up, because I think at the moment I'm running a lot more camber on this wheel, I don't know if you want to say, than this wheel. I think last time I checked I was only like 2 degrees on the near side rather, and only just over a degree on the other side, so I'm fairly comfortable. I'm running about 1 degree negative on the near side. Let's see what this side's saying to me. Yeah, that's pretty silly amounts of camber right there, if that's telling me the truth. That's exactly opposite of what I just said before, so let's have a look at it from the front. That looks fairly cambered back wheel, I think, from there. Not as much there.
So while Caz has been getting on with all that, I've been sent into a massive panic, just as I predicted in the last episode. Where to begin? Eileen and I finished uni for good a few weeks ago, so we headed over to Berlin for a week to stay with her family, to chill out, relax, and not think about anything academic at all. I also shot a motocross video of my good friend Frank Hoffman when we were in Berlin, but I haven't had a chance to put it together yet, so you'll have to wait until after this trip to see those videos. Just before I went to Berlin, I took my bike down to Pal's place, who's a member of the ZRX Owners Club. The mods I hinted at the last episode have become a reality thanks to Pal, and I'm now sporting some ZZR 1100 cams for a much fiercer kick in the top end, and I've also down-geared my bike up 2 teeth on the rear sprocket just to make it a little bit more lively. It wasn't all plain sailing for Pal though, as some of the parts on my bike were a little worse for wear. The fan bracket on the radiator had completely rusted through thanks to 43,000 miles of road grime, and was only actually held on by 2 of the original 3 tabs. Because of this, the bracket was vibrating and snapped a lug off the radiator. This meant that the fan was hitting the radiator and was in danger of making a hole in it. Obviously a radiator with holes in it is no good, so Pal very kindly gave me one of his non-rusty fan brackets, as well as a radiator with all the lugs still intact. The new rad has had a few major repairs, so just to be safe I'm taking my old radiator, but the new one is definitely watertight. Needless to say, when I heard the news in Berlin I was definitely flapping a bit. Pal was ready to sacrifice some parts from his own mint condition ZRX to put on my bike so I wouldn't miss out on the trip, so I have to say a massive thanks to him for that. Here's what he had to say.
You just take it easy, because these cams, from 6 grand to the red line, you'll rip your arms off, so just take it easy for the first bit. And watch where you're cornering, because your apexes, because you'll arrive there a lot quicker. You won't want to, but it'll be addictive, the just riding up to the red line. And if you've never hit the limiter before and have it stutter, you'll hit it almost every gear change until you start getting used to it. It's clearing up now, but in the torrential downpour we had earlier, I was a bit worried about you riding this all the way back there. No, it's been alright. It's not as bad as you make out. You give yourself a hard time and think it's a right nail, but it's been alright. Apart from the rusty fan bracket, which was a bit of a pain in the neck, but these things happen. When you come down next and whatever you want me to do, ZZR block and pistons, I might even put those pod filters on for you. I won't, it'll break my heart to do it, but I'll do it for you. And take it over the Nurburgring and see how it goes. I'm sure it'll fly. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I've even grown to like the sticker fest on the mudguard. I'd recommend, if anyone's got a broken mudguard, that's the way to do it. Do you need your sat nav turned around the other way for going back home?
I think I'll leave it like that and just go from the bottom.
just read up the page. You know you've got a few lights out, don't you? Here we go. I'm sure the neighbours didn't think it was lovely when I had to run it up to test the rad at night, 11 o'clock last night. Might have to go over and buy them a bunch of flowers to say sorry, but it had to be done.
The 280-mile ride back from Powys to North Wales was vastly improved once I hit the A5 and began to see the benefits of having the cams and down gear in the bike. It's a lot fiercer in the top end now, which is perfect for me because I haven't really been riding my bike much over the last 2 years. So the plan was for me to drop my motorbike off at Caz's and put it on the trailer, catch a train back to Manchester, and then basically work through right until the day of the trip, working on errands and general jobs that I have to do for people. Caz and Brendan had already test fitted Brendan's bike to the trailer, which had gone well, and the front wheel chocks that Caz had made up also worked really well. So here's how the test fitting of my bike went.
I've seen so many fail videos of people loading bikes on trailers on YouTube.
Well, we weren't
about to add another one.
We weren't recording Brendan's, so it went really well. No, your bike's heavier than Brendan's. Right, okay. So up to there, you hold it on the brake. Again. See, ideal. Right, I should hold it.
Trying to be all careful, you just say, yeah, let's have a shake test.
Well, yeah, let's go for the shake test. Good,
Almost like you planned it, with measurements and everything.
While putting the bike on the trailer, I noticed that one of my fork seals was leaking badly. It was fine when I left London, and the timing couldn't have been worse because I wouldn't have any chance to work on the bike before the trip. I've never rebuilt motorbike forks before, so my only thoughts at the time were of researching fork rebuilds and thinking that I'd have to do it from the first night of the trip. As the fork seals had blown, The oil had seeped out all over the front brake caliper. So naturally, now the pads were contaminated, I needed new front brake pads as well, so that was something else I was going to have to do on the first day of the trip. Whilst researching fork rebuilds on the ZRX owner's website, I made a post asking if there was any specifics I needed to look out for. Amazingly, a very helpful member offered to lend me a spare set of forks he had, as well as the tools to do the fork seal change job. So I have to give a massive shout out to Burial With from the ZRX Owners Club website for his fantastic offer, and naturally I took him up on it. As I had to head out to buy brake pads and fork seals anyway, I arranged to meet Burial With at a local motorbike shop to pick up the forks.
Okay, so my fork saga is continuing. I've come to Bits for Bikes in Rochdale, where I have purchased some brake pads, sintered, not like the usual organic stuff I buy, and just not cheaping out today. And got some extreme fork and dust steels and some fork oil as well. And then these will be part of the rebuild night maintenance thing fork messing around with at the Nurburgring. Look forward to messing around with my forks and probably making a complete hash of the job. So in the event that I do make a complete hash of this fork seal change with all my lovely new parts here, someone on the ZRX Owners Club has offered to lend me his spare pair of forks, which is completely incredible considering I'm going to probably one of the most dangerous racetracks in Europe. It was very trusting of him, and what a top guy. I'm just waiting here at Bits for Bikes, and hopefully he'll arrive any minute with some forks and I'll introduce you to him.
Hiya Rob, got your forks, enjoy the ring mate, nice one.
In other news, G, a moderator from Bike Chat forums, has kindly lent me a set of leathers for the trip. As you can see, they suit me very well, and the gesture is very much appreciated, so thanks very much G. As we're only a few days away from leaving now, I've started getting all my stuff together for the trip. Here's a quick look at some of the more important things that I'm taking with me.
So, starting with the obvious problems with my bike, we've got some spare forks here and some specialist tools for changing the fork seals donated by Burial With from the ZRX Owners Club. We've got some various lotions and potions there for my motorbike. Got some brake pads and the fork seals and dust seals. Got a tripod there as well for all the camera stuff. Got a big bag full of camera toys. Obviously there'll be this camera in there as well. Full of memory cards, batteries, and I got a laptop in there as well. I've got my Halford's professional toolkit there, as well as my normal toolkit, full of all of the essential tools such as hammers, sponges, old mountain bike stems, and pretty much all the tools that you definitely don't need to fix a motorbike. We've got a German only sat-nav there, which will be useful for well, European maps only, non-UK, which will be useful for when we get off the ferry. Got various lotions and potions for people there, insect repellent, suntan lotion, cooling gel, all that kind of stuff. Perhaps a little bit optimistic, but who knows. Also got the European adapter stuff there, as well as my passport, card part of my driving license, and a European health insurance card, always useful, especially with some of the stuff that we're planning to get up to. I've got my motorbike paperwork there, paper part of my license as well. I got the V5, tax and insurance and MOT stuff in that little pocket there. Got enough clothes to last me for the week, always useful. Cap for the sun, hopefully. Lots of food prepared by my beautiful fiance Eileen. Got some leathers here. Obviously Caz has got my helmet and my boots, so hopefully he'll remember to bring those. And last but by no means least, of course, a guitar, because no stag do is complete without a bit of kumbaya.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to once again thank all the people who have helped me and us throughout this whole trip for no reason other than just being great people. A big thanks to Pal for sorting out all of the unforeseen problems with my bike in double quick time so I wouldn't miss the trip. Burial With for lending me the forks and the tools so I wouldn't also miss out on the trip. And also to G for lending me his leathers. It's great to see that the biking community is still very much alive and kicking, and that people are willing to help out just because they want to. So once again, thanks guys. So join us next time as we start our trip to the Nurburgring.